Are y'all ready? What? Yeah. Y'all ready to play some football? Suggestion. Big D. Say this. Let's go. If you want it, you can get it. Let me know. I'm about to break this thing up. Let's go. If you want it, you can get it. Let me know. I'm about to break this thing up.
If you want some, come get some. Cause where I'm from, we so big. And everybody knows somebody that knows somebody that knows something about it.
Yo. Once again, welcome to Herd Talk. We're here with your Mid-State Byson semi-pro football organization. Getting live and direct to you guys, coming out here. Just talking the game, man, and just, getting into this anticipated season that we're getting ready to get closing in on to. We're about a month and a half away from the season opener. And we're about a week away from a big preseason game that's going to really test our mettle to see where we at, to see if we're ready to go into this season, We got championship goals and championship mindset, and that's what we're going to, aim for this year. The whole team and roster is locked and loaded and, ready to go and compete and battle, to be, the best team in Mississippi, and hopefully at some point, all of semi-pro football, Once again, I got T-Hawk over here. On the other side, I got Jonathan on the other side of me. Offensive player and a defensive player on both sides of me. So we're going to talk a little bit on both sides of the ball.
Oh, yeah.
But, like I said, once again, on our upcoming events, like I said, we have a preseason game next Saturday against the Lacombe Cardinals, out of Louisiana. And it's going to be a battle. They're out of the APDFL, and they're a pretty tough team. I've seen them a few times, and, hey, on all phases of the game, them guys are pretty good. So they definitely have our respect, and we definitely not going to come in half-cocked and, looking past our opponent, focused in to see, what we need to work on, what we need to get better at, and what we're going to execute properly. So that's the upcoming events, right now, once again, practice this Saturday. Roster spots. Hey, it's a 55-man roster. Right now, we're pretty much loaded. And, we may have a spot here and there from what I understand. And if you want to come out and be a part of the herd, hey, you need to handle your business ASAP. That means bring your fees, have your equipment, ready to come in and compete for time. No procrastination. You wait too long, it's going to be too late. You're just going to be sitting on the sideline watching everybody else have fun. But that's what we got going, man. I want to talk a little bit today, man. We got new additions to the roster already. As I just spoke on, we got another QB came in, so we have 3 QBs competing and battling for that time on the field. We have new defensive players that came in, competing and battling. And like I said, this roster is locked and loaded. We have a lot of depth at every position. Guys are out there working, talking, communicating. Building cohesion. Ready to get it on the field, man. Like I said, this is a big year for the Mid-State Byson, and we got big expectations, man, and so we want to see it get done, man. Y'all got anything to add to that?
Yeah, as far as on the new additions, there's a lot of talented guys. Some guys I haven't met yet, but this Saturday I get to meet them. I can say some of the receivers that I seen come out there, I used to play with, some are vets, and I didn't think they'd get back on the field, but they bring great aspect to the game. Playing the game of football, you always want to learn from the vets and kind of watch how things are handled, because they're going to be the most humble ones on the field. Some may be humble, but you got to always realize that you got them young guys looking at you, and it's just like in their mind, you're the leader, and I'm going to follow you. So if I see you humble and you just doing your job on the field, I want to do the same thing. So, like I said, we got a lot of guys offensive-wise that came in that can change the game. It can be leaders. But at the end of the day, we got to follow what the coach has in playing. So the coach is the leader. We're the followers. He puts the plan together, and we make sure we achieve it.
Anything you want to add to that, Jan?
Y'all, man, honestly, y'all just, the way you leading off, it always starts with leadership.
Right.
Anything you do in life, it starts with God first.
Yes, sir.
If you're not led by a spiritual entity, then you pretty much lost. already. You know, there was a famous quote in state that when you work harder. And when you work harder, work even harder than that. So, you know, that quote derives from my guy Ed Reed.
Yeah.
You know, so
Legend.
that I kind of lead my steps, you know, each and every day. I try to, you know, look forward to what I'm gonna do next, you know, and I'm making my better step than what I did before. So, you know, and it's this team. A lot of these guys that's coming on, a lot of these veterans, they're showing up to play.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
they're not just displaying their talent, but they're showing, hey, they done grown, you know, both emotionally and physically.
Right.
So, you know, for these young guys and new guys that are coming out, man, you got your work ahead. You know, you're going to be having fun, but still, you know, you don't be out there and just be on the field. You want to be displaying that you're getting better and better each day.
Right. That's the ultimate goal, man, to get better and better each day, man. I want to take a quick moment, man. Just you guys can see this here, man. This is Earthbound Coffee. Hey, it's a great coffee, man. Y'all need to really check this out. I'm a coffee head, so Coach love his coffee first thing in the morning, man. And they gave me a bag, man. And
Don't get you no jitters,
Yeah,
man. You
man.
focus.
it makes you feel great first thing in the morning, man. Grab that cup, man. You don't need Folgers, man. You need Earthbound. Check it out, man. It's pretty good, you know. But back to you know,
Coach, is it Earthbound
testing.
or Earth Blend?
It's Earthbound. Earth Blend. Well, we Earthbound. But it's a pretty good coffee, man. It's a pretty good coffee. And so, like I said, you know, these roster additions, man, we have a loaded roster, man. A loaded roster. Practices have been, you know, awesome.
Right.
You know, some of our best practices, you know, that we've had in a while. You know, locked and loaded each week. We're lining up. We're going through, you know, everything we need to go through. Then we line it up 11 on 11, and we go at it. You know, we find out our strengths and our weaknesses, and we work on it, and we just keep on repping it, man. You know, like you say, the proper preparation prevents poor performance. You know, so and I'm a man believe that, you know, you don't need to do too many things. You just need to execute those few things that you're doing. And, you know, once you master those few things, man, you can destroy anybody with just a few things. You don't need 1,000 things to be great. You watch any NFL team, college team, they're not doing 1,000 things. They're doing a few things exceptionally well. And they master those things, and they rep them, you know. And then all they do is just adjust it according to what the other team is giving them, you know. And so, but with these roster additions, you know, so like I said, you know, I have a quarterback on my left side here, and you know, we have 3 quarterbacks on our depth chart, and you know. So you can kind of tell the people what it's like, you know, when you're going in each Saturday, each practice, you know, each meeting, you know, competing with other guys. You know, what's your process?
Right. Now, dealing with that by me being a vet, it's kind of, want to make sure my communication is on key. Because, like I say, it's 3 quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, we all competing for a job. We competing for a spot. But you still got to have that leadership role, that brotherly role to where, hey, if I see you mess up, I'm going to get on you. You know what I'm saying? Because if I ain't on the field, I want the best out of you. If I'm on the field, I know you want the best out of me, so I got to push you just like I know you'll push me.
Oh, yeah.
So what my mindset every Saturday when I go in is I got to perform. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be that example to lead, to make these guys go even harder, because if they see me going harder, they're going to go harder. So you got to go in with a positive mindset, but at the end of the day, it's just like go in with a focus to where we got to get this done. Right. We gotta put everybody in their position. We got to learn these plays. We got to be the person that put the ball there in certain areas and make big plays to even push our offense up the field. So I feel like all 3 quarterbacks that's on the roster, we bring something different to the game, and it's just like it's exciting to show up at practice every Saturday, just seeing the people out there. So it's just like an extra drive and an extra push. Like normally probably like a Friday morning when I get off, I'd be so ready for Saturday to be like, all right, well, I'm gonna watch YouTube and watch football highlights all day Friday.
Exactly.
Right.
And then Saturday, I know it's almost time for practice. So, you know, it's more than just going out there practicing. A lot of people feel like we take semi-pro too serious, but at the end of the day, we men and we love this game. You know what I'm saying? We don't have too much that we can sit here and say, this us. That's for us. You know what I'm saying?
All the opportunity.
So, right. So it's an opportunity to still do something that you love and still push young guys in that direction to stay in school and build that bond and focus on being an athlete. You know what I'm saying? So it has a lot of positive behind it.
Right. Most definitely. And that's even on the defensive side of the ball, man. We got guys at each position on that D line, the linebackers, the secondary, guys competing and fighting, for those starting spots and reps on the field. But at the same time, it's a respectful battle.
Exactly.
There's no animosity. Because there's an understanding that only 11 men can start at a time. And may the best man win the job. And sometimes it's just a collective. Sometimes you may start, but that doesn't mean that your role behind that person is less important.
Right.
Because we're all supposed to be in this thing, together. Because as we all know, football is the ultimate team sport. And so, what I love about it is that it brings each person's level of up to the next level, trying to compete and focus in and locked in on their assignments. So it makes each guy work harder. It makes each guy compete harder, because that guy knows that he can't slack because somebody's right there waiting.
Right.
You slip up, this guy's finna go right in front of you. It's just like a race. Cars speeding down the Indy 500. You slack up on that gas pedal. That car is zooming right past you. Yeah, you got to keep your foot on the pedal, man. You got to keep grinding. 100% of the time.
Right.
And so, but yeah, and that's the great thing about this game of football, man, that we love, And yes, it's semi-pro. You can't take it too serious because it's a game. Again, it's semi-pro. This is pro ball.
Right.
We may not be the NFL or anything like that, but it's still serious ball. These guys, are guys that may be former pro players, former college players, former high school players, that are still competing at a high level. With aspirations of maybe even getting to the next level or back to a certain level. So you can't take this for granted, unless you're in some type of Rudy Poot league that they really don't care about structure. But we're in a good league in the SCFL.
Right.
And so this league is full of teams competing and high quality teams. There's pretty much no slouches in here. We have some new teams in the league, but we'll find out what they're about this year when we play them. But as far as the veteran teams in this league, it's some great teams, Like you said, the Knights, the Hurricanes, the Kings, the Panthers, the Road Warriors.
See, I like the Kings because the Kings, they got a lot of young players.
Yeah.
Like, their whole team is young.
Yeah, and they compete, man. And you can't.
That's a squad that's out in Louisiana.
Yeah,
Down south.
Yeah, they're a
Okay.
pretty good team, man. So those teams are some good teams, man. They come with it, man. You might think this team is that or that. Their record might not show a certain thing, and you go in there thinking that it's gonna be easy. And next thing you know, you come out of there with an L. So
Right.
yeah, you got to keep on your toes each and every week, in this league.
Because that's one thing that you have to learn. Like, you can never sleep on a team. Like, I've seen teams that have shown up at games with 13, 14 people and beat a 50-man roster. You know what I'm saying? So it's really about the heart and the foundation of your team. And with that being said, like Coach said, we got a lot of great teams in the SCFL. Like, a lot of great teams. These ain't no pushover teams. These are teams that you really have to be out on the field mentally and physically. You can't just go out there physically and think that you're going to win like that. You got to have your mental state ready, because anything can change. It's any given Saturday. Yeah. So even you might have that blowout game last Saturday, this Saturday might be a different story. You might get tested like you ain't never got tested before.
Right. That's most definitely it, man. That's most definitely it. And going against these teams, man, and teams that also in our league, multiple teams have multiple championships. Have went out of state and played other big teams of that nature, and so that's the level that we're trying to get to. Get on the road, go try some of these great teams around the country. Because we want to get our name out there. We want to compete against the best. We want to be the best.
Right.
And so, in order to be the best, you got to go compete against the best and beat the best. And make them respect you. We want the Mid-State Byson name to ring around the USA. all over this country. We want you looking for us. We want you coming and wanting to play the Mid-State Byson. That's what we're about. That's what we're building here. And we got other things coming up in the future. Maybe youth football. A lot of things in that nature that's been discussed. That we might want to possibly do. We have aspirations. We have people that that want to get into the coaching game and stuff like that. And so even if that's another thing. If you're a young coach and you're looking to grow as a coach, reach out. I'm looking for more coaches to add to the staff. I'm looking for young guys that want to learn and want to build. If you're a veteran coach and you want to join and you're about working together, come on in. You can never have enough good guys and knowledgeable men that can teach the game. Because even as a coach, as a head coach, whatever it may be, we all learn from each other. Just being the head coach doesn't mean that you're always the smartest one in the room. A lot of times the head coach hires guys that's smarter than him because that makes everything better.
Village.
Why do you think Nick Saban is great? Why do you think Eddie Robinson was great? Why do you think Bill Belichick is great? Because that's what they had. They had great coaches around them. It wasn't just about them. They're just the face, And at the end of the day, I always say this to the players. Coaches don't play on the field. All we do is draw up plans. It's your job to execute it and make it happen. Any game that's won is won on the field, not on the coach's pad. So know that, and that's what we respect about this game because everybody has a role and everything, and it's a beautiful thing when it all comes together, and so. But we are taking this commercial break right now. We'll be right back.
Do you have something to say? Do you want your voice heard? Join the We Believe Global lineup. Be the star of your own show. For more info, call 800-492-5186, option number 1, or visit online at webelieve.global.
All right, we're back. We're back with Herd Talk, man. You heard it here first. And so, like I was saying, we're just talking about, team play, playing roles, in the ultimate team game, which is football, American football. And so before we went to break, I had a question asked in the chats on the live. And so Mr. Wilson had said, coach in general, has the specialty player, i.e. edge rusher, linebacker, safety, hybrid players you only see in packages, has it taken the defenses completely out of the game due to its predictable nature? I won't say that because just like anything, just like I spoke on an offense or defense, and when you rep certain things, people can know you're coming, but they don't exactly know when you're coming. So you can be alerted that these specialty players are on the field, but you don't know exactly what their assignment is. And it actually changes the game in a good way as far as the defensive players, even offensive players, because those guys are, again, specialty players. Those guys bring, quote unquote, different things to the field that, that's unpredictable, which makes it hard for the opposition to understand what they're about to do. You have guys like, say, McCaffrey, Debo Samuels, and things of that nature that come, and you can line them up anywhere. So you can know they're coming, but you don't know how they're coming.
Right.
You have that edge rusher, that hybrid. There's a outside linebacker / DN. The Von Miller types, the Khalil Max, and things of that nature. The Micah Parsons, that's the kid for the Cowboys.
Right.
Those guys are hybrid players that can just disrupt the backfield, yet can drop back in coverage.
Right.
You know, and so those guys are special, man. The hybrid player is really has one of the few things that I really truly say that's kind of changed the game this era, because you know they are guys that are usually a certain type of player, and now they have evolved into multitasking players, and so you know, and that
So
makes
it makes
them
it
special,
more physical and mental.
Yeah, yeah, physical, mental, very athletic and stuff like that. So no, you know, it's not predictable. It's actually another tool in the toolbox for coaches to use to create, you know, a lot of conflict for other coaches in their meeting rooms. You know, trying to figure out what to do with this type of player.
Right.
You know, it's a headache, honestly. You know, so yeah, no, it's not predictable, Brian. You know, so but what we want to talk about also, man, is like say position battles. You know, when you get on that field, man, like I asked the players, man, offensively, defensively, you know, as we spoke on, offensively or defensively, when you have guys competing for spots on the field, competing for starting spots, competing for you know, reps, competing for time on the field, it's a battle, you know. But the reverse to that is when you're competing against another team. And you know, I want to ask these guys, you know, just like say as an offensive player. Well, I go to the defensive side first. So as a defensive player playing DN, you know, and that nature, you know, what is you know, or team, you know, do you have any teams or certain players that you like going against? What's the challenge? What's the ultimate thing that you love about, you know, playing the position? Who you like going against and things of that nature, trying to get around that edge, you know, to put pressure on the quarterback, you know, to break down the backfield.
As far as our league in general,
just in general, just you personally as a player, you know. You know, do you have any certain team? You might have any certain teams in the league that you might want to go against. Hey, this left tackle right here, this right tackle is, you know, I can't wait to see him this season.
What's that squad, man? The Knights, Jackson Knights. Yeah, man, they got a dude. He's sweet with it. That D tackle. Yeah, the guy, man. I first seen him. I go up against him. I'm like, this dude like 6'6". 350 pounds, and I'm just thinking like, oh man, he finna move. But then, you know, I got in the backfield as far as when we met up, when we matched each other, and it was a good game, man, great experience. And I was able to get my rocks off. Then he got me one a few times, you know, caught me off guard. So, you know, like he said, like Coach previously mentioned, it's not just all physical all the time. A lot of times, you know, you got to use your mind. You got to be mentally smart. You got to, you know, leave that emotional stuff to the side. That's where you lay it all out on the field. So, you know, a lot of times that's what a lot of guys look forward to on Saturday. To be able to get all that stress, all that, you know, eagerness. They get out there on the field, and it's just like, man, you in a different world. You in that football world.
Right.
You know? And I mean, it's a lot more to it, man. Like a lot of these guys that's coming out of high school and community college, they actually have an opportunity to go to the next level.
Yeah.
You know, our games, they're recorded. You can get you a scout. You can get you know, some people that can get you to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the role of the diamond in the rough, man. Sometimes, you know, you get overlooked, you know, in school, and you know, sometimes you have to go that different route to get discovered. And man, you know, you make some plays out there, you make something pop, and you wow those people watching, and hey, you never know what can happen, man. You know, God can open the door from you anywhere. You know, like say even on the offensive side of the ball, you know, as a QB, you know, what is your favorite challenge? Is it trying to match the efforts of the other team's QB, or is it, you know, certain secondaries you want to face, or you know, things of that nature that you love? Is there a certain team that you want to play against most, that you want to attack? You know, do you have a chip on your shoulder against somebody? Hey, you know, you may owe a lick. You know, whatever it may be. You know.
Well, dealing with that coach, I think since I've been playing the game of football, it's always just been the entire defense. I think the number one person that I used to love going against, he's not in the SFL anymore. Matter of fact, I think he's playing Canadian ball, overseas ball now, was Tyron Lemon. He was a good safety / DB. Yeah. So he had to get props where props was given. But as far as position battles and stuff like that on the field, if I did have to pick a defense that I would like to just go against and just attack, actually it's two, and that would be the Panthers and the Hurricanes. Yeah. And the reason I say that because they're gonna bring it every play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna test you as a quarterback, and that's gonna test your mental. So being able to pick apart those guys up front or in the secondary, you know, that's a battle that you want to win every series. Right. You know, you can sit here and say every play, but you have series. So I'm gonna sit here and say every series. That's what us as QBs. That's our main goal is to pick apart your defense.
Right. Right.
And I feel like a lot of defenses, some get out there and they just play, but then you have some that's really organized to make you see one thing, but they do something else. You know what I'm saying? So again, that's where your mental plays a part. Like you can't just go out there thinking like, okay, this is little league football or this is man or this is NFL. No, if you don't use this up here, you'll lose every play.
All the time.
So it's basically me being a quarterback or the other two quarterbacks, Drexler or Brandon. When we walk up there to the line, it's up to us to scan the field before we even make a call. Right. Because we have to adjust something and see something differently. It's either, like I said, I think what the first show, I think we did, Coach, when I said where the quarterbacks and the coach mindset had to be the same.
Right,
so if I sit here and I see something different and I see Coach waving and he see the same thing I see, then 9 times out of 10, we already know which way to roll. Mm-hmm. So it's just like going against those two defenses, and I'm not singling anybody else out. Those are the only two teams that I really seen play. Yeah. And watched a lot on YouTube and everything like that. And congratulations to y'all games that y'all won in Houston and in Georgia. But those are the two teams that I can just see that it's gonna be a good battle mentally and physically wise.
Yeah. Even as a coach, man, I would pencil out those teams as well. Like I said, you know, as a coach, hey, I'm on 1 against the Hurricanes and on 2 against the Panthers, and so. And the challenge, you know, for me, you know, as a coach, you know, game planning is, you know, getting us in the right position, seeing the right places to attack the defenses and things of that nature, and you know, offensively as well, you know, to get the win, you know, and those guys bring a lot of good things to the table, you know, in different facets of the game, you know, secondary, linebacker play. I know the Hurricanes have that linebacker, what is it, Bo? I think that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a great athlete.
He's an end.
Yeah, he's an end slash linebacker. He's what Mr. Wilson was on here talking about, that hybrid player.
Right.
You know, he'll blitz, he'll rush, but he'll also he'll contain anything coming out that backfield, and he does it well.
Because Bo is every quarterback worst nightmare.
Yeah, he's an MVP type player in the league. And so, you know, I love playing against those guys. You know, even Road Warriors as well. You know, they present some issues for us and stuff like that.
Right.
You know. And all those things, you know, I know we had chances to win, but hey, they gave us an L, and you know, we just gotta get out there and get that lick back, you know, and that's the goal this year, man. You know, we want to sweep through the league. That's the goal. That's the mindset, man. It's sweeping through these guys and winning every single game, man. And I want to flood the All-Star game with Byson players, you know.
Well, I don't know. Well. Yeah, if they got them on a different date, then yeah, Coach. But if it's on the same day, I think we need to focus on them rings first.
Well, if the All-Star game is not, the All-Star game should be after the season,
right? Not
while the season is going. So let's win this chip first, you know, Lord willing, and then you know, have fun in the All-Star game with the rest of the league, right? You know, stuff like that. We're also something we'll be working on, you know, this upcoming off season. We'll be working on a coaches clinic for all semi-pro coaches that want to get together and game plan and brainstorm with each other. You know, build our knowledge. You know, build our connections with each other and stuff like that. Because you know, this game and us as men, you know, the greats of all greats always share knowledge. You know, to help build, because there's nothing better than competing against the best. If I win, I want to beat somebody that I know is good. I don't want to beat somebody that I know that I can beat. That's nothing to brag about. You know, I want to beat teams that I know that are true competitors. That's true a challenge for me. You know, and that's the same for my team. You know, we want to play guys that's going to present us a challenge. So when we go out there and we win, we've earned it. We didn't go out there and we just beat somebody that we know we can just walk over. You know, because that's not something I'm going to brag about. You know, I'm not even a big celebration guy. I'm old school. And so,
Right.
That you are.
yeah. That's the thing. Plays on the field. You catch one catch, but nobody scored a point. We don't need the Millie Rock dance, the things of that nature, just because you catch one catch. Hey, get back in the huddle. Let's keep on marching down the field. Once we secure the bag, now it's time to celebrate.
But what if you catch a body though, Coach?
Catch your body. I mean, at certain moments you can get a little hyped up. But let's not turn it into a party. You know, the whole team doesn't need to celebrate it. You know, until we secure that bag. You know, one thing I hate to see, you down 20 points and you catch a nice catch, you might have mossed somebody. And then this person is dancing and wobbling around on the field. Bro, we down by 20. What you celebrating for? If you don't get your back into the huddle, man, you know.
I mean, Cole, that kind of goes back to how you mentioned about proper preparation.
Yeah, it's a mindset, man.
You know, I mean, what goes with that for me, and you know, me playing Pop Warner football, I know a lot of guys, they've been playing since they was yay high, you know, back in the gap, but discipline, dedication, and determination. You know, it may all sound the same, but each one of them had their own provision, their definition behind them. You know, like discipline, it means to obey rules and conduct.
Right.
Have a code about yourself.
Right.
You know, you mentioned a guy catching the ball, he down by 20, you celebrate.
No.
What you celebrating about?
There's
You know,
nothing to
that's being selfish. You have no discipline.
Right.
And you got the dedication part, your commitment. We trying to go through this whole league. We trying to sweep.
Yeah.
You know, we trying to let y'all. We want y'all to know. It ain't no trying.
I
we
believe
won't.
in putting that hard head on, man. It's like when you clock in at that construction company and that land, you put that hard head on and you go to work. You ain't celebrating just because you drilled one hole.
Right.
Because I feel like once we meet in the middle of the field and we shake hands, it's on to the next.
Yeah, right. You're not celebrating until that building is
that's
built.
It's over with.
Let's complete the building and then we celebrate. Once we build that sky tower, we celebrate. But if we just put up 2 posts of the building, what's what we celebrating for?
Right.
Ain't nothing to
Let's get the
celebrate.
bag.
Put up 2 posts and can't kick the field goal. You got to win it.
Right.
Nothing to
Let's
celebrate.
secure the bag, man. That's what I'm about. You know, I don't get too high, I don't get too low, man. Like I said, we have goals for this season. We don't know how it's going to turn out until it turns out. You know, I'm excited. I'm anticipating a great season, but at the same time, I'm not going to get too high before it's time to get high. You know, I'm focused in. I'm locked in on that end game. That end game is carrying that trophy to the house, putting it in the Raptors, getting that banner, all of it, getting those rings, you know, and handling our business, man. That's the mid-state Byson mentality. You know, clock in and lock in, and let's get ready to roll. It's going to be a great season, man. It's going to be a great season. If you ain't with us, you better get with us. That's all I can say.
Because the herd is coming.
Yeah. Like Juvenile said, we taking over for 9-9-2000. Whatever you say.
In the 2000s.
Hey, shout out to the other 2 quarterbacks, man, Brandon Woodland and Drexler Johnson.
Yeah.
Said, come Saturday, bro, we got to put this work in, baby. It's time to lead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, that was Herd Talk today, everybody, man. Appreciate y'all checking us in, man. Share the video, man. Support us, man. Come on next week. Y'all got questions, ask that, man. Herd Talk is out, baby.
Whole lot of fire things going on.
Yes, sir.
Put them horns up.